There is a quiet power within every human mind, a power that waits patiently to be awakened, the power to decide with clarity, calmness, and unwavering direction. Paramahansa Yogananda often taught that the greatest movements of destiny begin not with noise or pressure, but with an inner stillness so sharp that it cuts straight through confusion. When you train your mind to decide in 1 second, you are not rushing. You are not forcing. You are simply aligning your inner state with truth so clearly that hesitation dissolves. Before we begin, let's stop the moment. Like this video, comment below about your thought, and hit subscribe button so you don't miss any video inspired by Yogananda. So, let's tune in. People often imagine decision-making as a struggle, doubts rising like waves, emotions clouding judgment, fear whispering about every possible failure. But Yogananda's teachings dive into the deeper roots of choice. He emphasized that indecision is not a lack of intelligence. It is a lack of inner harmony, a mind split between desires, fears, and imagined futures cannot decide quickly because it is not whole. The moment the mind becomes unified, even for a second, decisions flow effortlessly. A single second of true alignment is more powerful than hours of overthinking. To train your mind to decide instantly, you must first understand what clarity really is. It is not the absence of uncertainty, but the presence of inner peace. Peace gives birth to intuition, and intuition gives birth to immediate understanding. Yogananda described intuition as the soul's deep knowing, untouched by the restless chatter of the surface mind. When you learn to access that level of awareness, your decisions do not come from anxiety or impulse. They come from a higher intelligence already guiding you. Think of your mind as a lake. When the water is disturbed, you cannot see the bottom. Every thought, every memory, every fear becomes a ripple. You bend down and try to look, but the more you stare, the harder it becomes. But if you allow the water to settle, the truth appears instantly. This is how the 1-second decision works. It is not a forced choice. It is the reflection of a still mind. Yogananda taught that meditation is the great cleanser of confusion. Not simply sitting with closed eyes, but entering a state where breath, attention, and awareness merge into a quiet unity. When you meditate consistently, you reduce the mental noise that pushes you into hesitation. You begin to trust the silent voice within. Over time, you stop analyzing life with a fragmented mind and begin listening to life through intuition. When a situation appears, your decision rises instantly from the depths of your being, pure, direct, and unburdened. Most people think their difficulty in deciding is about the decision itself. In truth, it is almost never the situation. It is the mind's unresolved attachments that slow everything down. You fear choosing because you fear losing. You fear committing because you fear regretting. You fear stepping forward because you fear stepping wrong. But Yogananda reminded again and again that fear is only a shadow appearing when we forget the light of the soul. When you remember who you are, when you remember you are not merely a body or a bundle of thoughts but a spark of the infinite, fear shrinks like mist under the sunlight. Decisions become expressions of inner confidence rather than struggles with imagined future outcomes. One of Yogananda's powerful ideas is that energy follows attention. Wherever your mind stays, your inner power flows. If your attention is scattered, your energy is scattered. If your attention is unified, your energy becomes sharp like a sword. When your energy is sharp, decisions arise without struggle. You look at a direction and your energy moves there, instantly and decisively. This is why indecisive people often feel tired. They burn enormous energy weighing possibilities, arguing with themselves, and replaying scenarios. The one who decides in a second conserves tremendous strength. Their power is not wasted in hesitation. It flows forward into action. To train your mind this way, you must practice the art of inner centering. Yogananda often advised his students to pause for a breath before responding to life. Not the long, dramatic pause of insecurity, but a brief inward turn, a moment where you touch the calm center of your being. In that brief second, the mind realigns. Suddenly, the right choice becomes obvious. In that quiet gap between stimulus and response, your higher self speaks. With training, that pause becomes effortless. It becomes your nature. You begin to live like a river that knows its way even when it curves. You stop fighting the flow of life. You stop asking 1,000 questions about where each step will take you. You act with intuition, confidence, and serenity. And surprisingly, your choices begin to feel lighter. You no longer drag the past with you. You no longer fear the future. You simply act with clarity in the present. That is the essence of the 1-second decision. There is also a subtle spiritual truth here. The longer you hesitate, the more you empower doubt. Doubt grows when you feed it with attention. But when you decide quickly from a place of peace, doubt has no soil to grow in. Yogananda loved to remind seekers that the soul already knows. The soul is not confused. Confusion is a temporary fog of the mind. When you touch the soul through inner stillness, decisions become expressions of truth rather than reactions to fear. Imagine a person standing at a crossroads. The untrained mind looks left and right and begins imagining every possible outcome. What if I fail? What if I choose wrong? What if there is something better on the other path? These questions multiply until the person is paralyzed. But the trained mind, grounded in intuition, simply feels the right direction. The body relaxes, the breath deepens, and a calm certainty rises. The choice does not come from logic alone. It comes from deeper awareness. It takes 1 second because truth does not need time. It only needs recognition. Yogananda taught that great souls do not waste life in hesitation. They move with purpose. They act with clarity. They step forward even when the future is not visible, because they trust the inner guidance more than external circumstances. This inner trust is not arrogance. It is alignment. When you are aligned with your higher nature, your choices reflect wisdom, not impulse. Your 1-second decisions are not rushed. They are inspired. Training your mind to do this requires devotion to self-awareness. You must learn to watch your thoughts instead of becoming them. You must learn to observe your emotions without being pulled by them. When a situation arises and you feel that familiar wave of hesitation, you bring your attention inward. You breathe. You listen. You allow the mind to settle. In that small moment, clarity appears. Over time, the moment becomes shorter and shorter until it feels instantaneous. The more you trust it, the stronger it becomes. There is something empowering in making clean, immediate decisions. You feel lighter, freer, more confident. The world around you responds differently. People begin to notice that your actions are not laced with uncertainty. Your energy becomes magnetic because decisiveness is a rare form of power. Yogananda often said that divine qualities express themselves through human behavior, and one of those qualities is decisive will. When your will is steady, your life becomes directional. You stop drifting. You start choosing. And every choice builds momentum toward your destiny. The ability to decide in 1 second is also a practice of surrender. Not to laziness or fate, but to your highest intuition. It means letting go of the ego's need to control every detail. It means trusting that the inner voice speaks clearer than fear ever could. It means believing that life supports the one who stands firmly in truth. This surrender softens the heart and strengthens the mind. You begin to feel guided. You begin to feel protected. You begin to realize your decisions are not isolated events. They are threads weaving you into the tapestry of your purpose. When you practice this long enough, something extraordinary happens. You stop second-guessing yourself. You act and move on. You choose and commit. You speak and let the words go. You no longer live in the loop of regret. Yogananda believed that regret is the mind's illusion that it could have done better in the past. But the soul knows that every moment was exactly what you needed to grow. When you embrace this wisdom, decisions stop haunting you. The past no longer pulls you back. The future no longer scares you. You live fully in the now, and the now is where the 1-second decision is born. There is another layer to this practice, the recognition that decisiveness trains the universe to respond to you. When your mind is firm, life becomes firm. When your mind is scattered, life scatters itself around you. The outer world often mirrors the inner state. Yogananda emphasized that a strong will, directed by calm intuition, can bend conditions in your favor. Not through force, but through spiritual resonance. When you decide clearly, the universe moves with you. Doors open, opportunities align, people sense your direction and respond to it. This is why training your mind to decide quickly is not just a mental practice but a spiritual discipline. It transforms you from someone who reacts to life into someone who shapes it. Every decision becomes an affirmation of your inner power. Every moment of clarity becomes a statement of who you are becoming. You begin to understand that decisiveness is not about choosing fast. It is about choosing from your highest self. The more you practice, the more your decisions become effortless. You no longer need to calculate endlessly because you can feel the truth immediately. You can sense whether something aligns with you or not. You recognize when something strengthens your spirit or drains it. You sense when an opportunity is real or deceptive. This sensitivity is the gift of intuition awakened by inner stillness. And when intuition awakens, 1 second is all you ever need. Life becomes simpler. Noise fades. You live with direction, with confidence, with quiet strength. You stop chasing and start attracting. You stop doubting and start knowing. You stop hesitating and start moving. This is the transformation Yogananda hinted at in many of his teachings, the evolution from a restless mind into an intuitive soul. Train your mind to decide in 1 second, not by pushing yourself into impulsive choices, but by purifying the inner space where clarity exists. Meditate, breathe, observe, trust. Return to your center again and again until you can touch it instantly. When your center becomes familiar, decisions become natural. When your inner voice becomes strong, the outer world becomes quiet. When your intuition becomes your guide, the path ahead opens without effort. And in that space, hesitation dissolves. Confusion fades. Fear loses its grip. You become a person who moves through life with the calm certainty of someone guided from within. That is the true power Yogananda wanted every seeker to embody. The power of a mind so still, so clear, so connected to the soul, that 1 second is enough to know exactly what to do. This is not just a skill. It is a way of living, a spiritual art, a gentle but unstoppable force. Train your mind this way, and your life will unfold with a grace you once believed belonged only to saints. But it belongs to you too, waiting in the quiet center of your own being, ready to awaken the moment you choose to trust it.